Alright, let's get started. Type in this exclamation mark and hit enter on your keyboard, and you have the basic HTML structure page. And let's start building our to-do list. So what I'm thinking, I want to-do list to be here, to be inside a container, and everything will be inside. So let's create a div for that. Let's first create the first div. If I call it container, it's not a bad name. I want to call it container. That container will now hold the to-do list contents. That is the header, the input, and every other thing. So I'm going to create another div, call it content. I'm not really good at naming. You can name whatever you want. So let us do that. And this content in the to-do list will have a header. Let's say h1, and let's type to-do list. And after the header, let me refresh this so you can see the change. We can see the changes, and let's add our input field. Inputs. The type will be text. And let's give it a placeholder. So let's give it an ID. ID of I want to use this letter in our JS. Then I think we need a button here. Use on-click function. On-click is equal to, I want to write, use camel case to write add tags. You put this to show that it's a function, and then let's give it a class so that we can style it easily. Class of, let's call it btn, and that should be all. And put the text here add. And lastly, let's create a UL. Give it an ID of UL. I want to use that in our JavaScript. For now, this is a very good structure for our to-do list. We're done with the HTML. Let's style the CSS. For the purpose of this tutorial, I'm not going to use external styling. I'm going to do everything with inline CSS. So inside your head tag, you open your style. And let's do this global CSS to set everything, both padding and margin, to 0. So we're going to use star. Put your margin 0, put your padding, you can even use 0px, and put your box sizing to border box. I always do this before I start anything with CSS. Firstly, this to-do list, I want it to be here. There's a container holding this. I want it to be at the center. For us to achieve that, let's target the body. For you to achieve that, you have to listen to me very well. You set display as flex. After that, you justify content center. Then align item center. Set your height to 100 VH. And that will do the magic. With this, you can center the container. So this container I'll show you in a bit. But let me give this our body a background color that will be nice for our to-do list. So I want to use the background, and please let me just give it a nice background. I think I like this. I'm going to leave it with this. Let's target the container. For you to style a class, look at the way I name it. This div has a class container. For me to style that class, I'm going to put these dots and type that class name. Then for you to see that container that it exists, because right now you cannot see it, let me just give it a color. You can see the color. That means all this stuff are inside the container, and all this stuff are inside the contents, and the contents is inside the container. So then I'll style this container to look nice. Firstly, we'll give it a width 30. Let me say 50 px and see whether that will be nice. That's not looking bad. Let's make it a bit round. Border radius. Let's give it some padding. Let me try 20 px, but that will be nice. It's not looking bad. Let me just give a small box shadow. That is not looking bad. Let's leave that for now. Next, let's style this to-do list text, the heading. So that is dot contents h1. We'll give it some margin bottom to separate this, and we'll center it. So use your margin bottom. 15 px is not bad. I want to give this text align center. That is fine. Now that we have styled the header, we also need to style these two. And what did we name that? I gave it an ID of text container. I'm just going to copy that. Width. We should just take up to 70% of the container. That will not be bad. And give it a height of 30 px. Little padding left. Let me just make it very small, 10 px, and maybe to it border radius. That's looking nice, and the button is now looking off. So I'm going to start the button now. I get the button a class of btn. Let's use that. I'm going to add the background. Let's give it a color of white. Try to make it white and give it border none. There is no border, it's looking nice, but it's a bit short. Give it small height. I'm giving it 30 px to rhyme with this, so that both of them will have the same. With that, I can just give it a little width. Let me try 54 px. That is not looking bad. Maybe just a little border radius to make it more beautiful. Then they are too close. I will just do margin left to shift it a bit. I like doing this a lot to my buttons. Now looking at my HTML, we have styled the container, the contents, and all except this. The content of this URL list is going to be created with JavaScript. It's going to be dynamic, so we're not supposed to create it with HTML. But if you're a beginner, it's going to be very hard for you to understand the structure while creating it, because it's a bit tricky. In that container, when somebody add a text or whatever they add, when they add it, it's going to appear here, and it's going to have maybe a circle. When someone click on it, it's going to mark it as completed. It's going to have a delete button, but I'm thinking I'm going to use X because I don't want to import any icons right now. And I want to have the stuff the person typed. All those stuff we create with JavaScript, but for us to be able to style it now and for you to understand the structure easily, they just create it with HTML. But later we'll now remove it, we'll comment it out. But you're going to see how it's going to be very helpful for you when you are doing the JavaScript, when you're creating with JavaScript. So bear with me, let's create it with HTML. We're going to comment it out eventually. Let me even give a comment. I will type the things to be created dynamically. This is going to be, we're going to create a list, and this list is going to hold everything when we click on this add button. And what are those things? Firstly, we're going to create a div for the text container. Everything will be inside that container. Now imagine there's a container here. Inside that container, we're going to have that circle and the text that you type inside, and this delete button. But to be able to control their spacing, I'm going to create another div. I love creating so much. I create as many as possible. There's no, what will I call this one? Let me just say tax left. This tax left will now hold the div I'm going to call circle. And I'll create a span. That span will be the text the user will type. Let's call it. Please don't name your stuff like me. I used to play a lot. This is how we name JavaScript, but I just play a lot. So name your stuff the right way. And inside this span class, I'm going to add a text. Maybe going to the market. All this stuff will be created dynamically, but for now, just for styling sake, so we can see what we are doing, and that's good enough. And you cannot see the circle. We have not created a circle yet, so I just created a div for it. We'll style it with CSS. And the next thing, let's create the button inside that container. I'll just call it delete btm. And I'll put the text manually as X. Now we are done. Let's go to our CSS to style. The first thing I'm going to style is the UL. I'm going to remove this stuff, but I'll say list starter none. Change this to none. And I'm going to give some space here. I'll just set padding to 0 so that I will not have issues later. That will be fine. That is a very good default styling. Let me refresh this. You can see the effect already. Let's style our list. I don't even know what to put here. I just add magic button 30px. When I think of something I'm going to do, let me go to something else. Next, let's style this container. I named it tax container. I'm going to display it as flex. That's going to shift it. Oh, that is not shift it. I name it text container. Let me just change it to text since I already typed it on the other side. So displaying as flex of shapes like this. Just do your justify content, center, and align item center. That is enough. If there's something else, we'll do later. Now for this tax left between that circle and text, first let me create the circle so you can see the circle. To create a circle, you do equal width and height, and that will do that. So this is a square right now, but I will just turn it to a circle. Then we set cursor to pointer. And that is beautiful. Now this and the span text, they are inside the tax left container. Let's style them. So I want to style them here. So I notice it's at the center and it's not looking nice. Let me change this one to space between. Where do we put this next? Space between. And that's what I'm looking for. Color is red. Font size, I need a very small font size. Which one is letting out? Try 20. I don't want to waste time there. I'll leave it. Also pointer too. So we have everything needed for our to-do list. So you style your own very well, make everything look nice. Just do your stuff. I want to create something that you may not really understand now, but when we are doing JS, you will see the importance. And let me comment. In CSS, this is how you comment. You open this and do your stuff, and that's going to be completed class. I'm going to create a class for the completed. That class is when you click, that class will toggle on, and it's that class that will cancel this. And oh, this has been completed. That is a completed class. And that completed class, I'm going to target just two items: this circle and this span text. So let's target the circle. So let's target the circle. Dot completed dot circle. I'll give it a background color, maybe orange, it's not looking bad, and then we'll give it border none. Let's also target the span. I call that list text dot completed dot list text. Do a text decoration. Hope we have heard of line through. You can see it here. It's part of the option. Line through will just underline it, and that is all the CSS we need to do. We have done everything. That's all the CSS we need to do. So with that, we can happily comment this list out. Now all this stuff that we have commented out, we're going to create it dynamically with JavaScript. If you have understood up to this point, you can congratulate yourself. You have done very well. We're going to move to the JS now. And this part is for those that have learned JavaScript. If you have not learned JavaScript, it's going to be very complicated because I may not really explain in details, but I'll try my best to also try to make everyone understand. We're going to do our script stuff for our JS. Please, sorry that I used to disorganize my stuff and this all these spaces that are wasted. Just follow. I just like doing that. Do your JavaScript with your script tag. Scripts. For our JavaScript, we are going to be targeting this button. This button, I created this as a function here, and on click function. This add tag, let me just copy it from here. You can see where it's coming from. The amount just from the name. It's a function. I'm going to targeting that button, and everything we are going to be doing is going to be from that button. Function, going to be a function. Add tags. Open your function. Oh, I'm typing it in the wrong place. Let me take it out into the script tab. I'm going to get this input field, this particular field. Like if you look at it in the HTML, you see that input type. I gave it an ID, text container. So I'm going to get it. You can use constant. Let's call it text input. This point you can name it whatever you want. It's your story, just flow with it. Document dot get element by ID, and you bring in your text container. Now I brought in this container. Next we have to bring in the text. Assuming someone types this, so these texts are strings, we need to bring them in. I'm going to do another one, call it const. What should I even name this one? Let's say tax text. Please name it something nice. I'm going to use this text input as text input dot value, and also I think I should trim it. Now also this particular line will also get the text inside the input field, so we are putting the two important stuff. So we're going to do a very important conditional statement. We check this tax text which contain this input field text, and if it's empty we will not do anything. If it's not empty we are going to do a whole lot of things. Let's say if open your brackets tax text is equal to, use your double equal to compare, can now return, and then we'll set the value of this tax text to nothing. So this just means that if this tax text is empty and you click this button, nothing should happen. Then I'll also set this whole input field, everything here, the way we did here, to nothing. Let me just repeat that statement. Text input dot value. I'll now set it equal to an empty string. That is going to clear the input field. So if it's not empty, return, and it will clear the empty, it will clear the string that was there. Then else, what should happen? Let me do constant, bring in that UL, that list. All those lists were inside that UL tag. If you look very well, you see that UL was the one that's having everything. Let's bring in that UL. Going to be equal to, you can name this anything. I just like name my things very easily. Simple name. Document dot get element by ID. And we have brought in that UL because we gave it an ID of UL. If you look here, you see that I gave it an ID of UL. So that's why I'm bringing in this. This is always containing the ID. We're getting to the most interesting stuff now, and this part I'm going to call it creating all this. We are going to create all this dynamically with JavaScript. All of this, from this list to this div of this task container, every single one of these, we are going to be creating everything with JavaScript. Let me just comment. I'm going to say creating those HTML stuff I said earlier. So let's start creating once. Let's call it tax item. It's equal to, instead of document.getElement by ID, we say document.create element, and then we'll mention the type of element we want to create. So we want to create the list element. And we also want to create that div inside that list element, this particular div, and that's a class of tax container. Let's first create the div first. Tax container is equal to document.create element. Yes, so and you put div. I'm creating a div, and that div I want to assign it to a class. So that's this tax container dot class name. Give it a class name of tax container. Next, let's create for the rest. So the same way we did for this, created a div and we gave it a class, we'll do the same for all of this. This tax left, this circle, I want to do the same, and I'll see you shortly. Let me just rush and type it. Alright, so far you can see I've created this div and I've given it a class of circle and created this span and given it a class of list text. Now this list text, from this our HTML structure that we defined earlier, you will see that it has some text. Now those texts we're not going to write it manually. We want to get this text from this input field. And remember when we were doing our JavaScript, when we got this container, this input field, and we also got the text, this tax text, we got it. That text was the string, this dot value. So whatever we have in this input text is this, when we use this text input, there is container dot value. So we want to set this tax text to be equal to this span. That means this tax text now, whatever the user have typed there as a string, is going to be what is going to replace this span going to the market. It's going to replace that. So how do we achieve that? After we have created that, we're going to just do a very simple code by setting this our list text. Now, since it is a string does not have this stuff that we can say, okay, dot value. It does not have that. If it was an input field like the other one, text input, we can use dot value, but we have the text content. See, it just appeared there, text content, and we can set it equal to the tax text. So that way, whatever the users enter here, you see, this will now be the contents of this list text, which was that span element. I hope that is clear. If it's not, maybe when we do more examples, it will become clear, because we're going to be doing a lot of projects. So let's continue. As you can see, we are done creating the delete button, but let's go back to our HTML structure. You see that this delete button had a text X. This is what I want to use for our delete as our icon. So we'll just do the same thing there. And we're going to just do this exact same thing. This is even very good, so that we can use to understand this text content by just doing delete btn dot. Now put text content, and I'm going to set it to X. At this point, we have created everything that we need, the delete button and everything that we add. But now the most important question of all is that how does this circle and this list text know that it's supposed to be inside tax left? And how does the delete button know that it's not supposed to be inside tax left? It's supposed to be inside the text container. And how does the text container know that this tax left and this delete button are supposed to be in it, and this circle is not supposed to be in it? So this is what leads us to one particular function called append child. We want to append them. This part is very, very interesting. Let me just add a comment. Append child. Append child. To assign them to the right places. So let's start to append. Let's say you can do like this. Tax left dot append child, we'll put circle. Now you look at this structure, you see that this tax left, it has two elements inside it. We have the circle and we have the list text. So we're going to also append this one inside this tax left. So do our tax left dot append child. Then we're going to put our list text. This tax left, you know that it's inside something, that is this container. Look at it very well. See, this tax left is inside this container, and we're going to do that. We want to append, that is our tax container dot append child, and I want to put tax left inside. This is very good. And also remember, our delete button was inside the tax container, not inside tax left. And don't forget that even this tax container was inside a list, and this list, we created it here, we named it tax item. So let's put this tax container inside tax item. All of this, even the list, they are inside this UL. We can see from our HTML structure that our UL had an ID UL. That's why we imported it, and all this list was inside when we were working on it. So let's just do that. UL dot append child, and we're going to put tax item inside. And with that, we should have all our items append to the right places. And I think if there's no mistake, this should work right now. this should work. And let's click on add, and you can see that it works very fine, no mistake, and it's just that easy. With that, you have done a to-do list, and when you type something like going to the market, you can see the way it's going to add very nicely, and to keep doing that. But this is not working yet, and this is not working yet because we have not done that. We're just working on it step by step. Now, if you observe that if you click on this, or this is not working because we have not done that, we just created the UL container and added those items inside. As you can see, we're not giving functions for this. Now I want to lead you to the class that we created earlier in our CSS, these completed classes, and you can see we defined that the background color will be orange and the border will be none. And this was that if the completed class is toggled, this circle, the background color will be orange. It's going to fill completely, and this border that is here will be gone. And we also add the completed class for this list text, not this list text. And the style was that it's going to have a text decoration of line through, meaning that it's going to be a line that will cancel it. This will signify that okay, this task has been completed. And we are going to toggle that, and let's make that work first. For us to achieve that, we are going to use our events listener. Events listener are very, very important. For us to achieve that, let's look at our structure again one more time so we can understand what we are doing. Now, this task left was the div that was holding this circle and this list text. It was the div that was holding both of them, meaning that if I can apply that class here, it's going to affect both the circle and the list text. Let me just go and do that. Just type your task left dot add event listener. So it's going to listen for clicks, and to perform this function if there is a click. So I'm going to say task left dot use this class list dot toggle, not toggle the completed class, put completed. Now if you look at this very well, task left dot class list dot toggle is going to create the class if it does not exist. That means it's going to give this task left a class was completed if it does not exist, and if it exists, it's going to turn it on or off, and you're going to just see the face. Let me refresh and then try that again. When you click on it, okay, it's not working yet. Let's see what's the problem. Oh, I see the issue. I think it should be the issue. I went to put this out of that button function. I'm supposed to have it inside this function. Yeah, that should work. That should work now. And when you click on that, it's going to cancel. Perfect. That is working fine, but this is not working. This remove is not working. And for you to do that, it's just the same thing. Still use the events listener, and this one is being controlled by the delete btn. We created it here. Let me show you. Delete btn. Just do that same thing. We do our delete btn dot add events listener. It's going to listen for a click and perform this function. Just one basic function you're going to perform. One basic function. Remember one thing, all of this, let me go to the HTML file. Yes, all of these that's happening, this div, tags container, tag slave, the circle, and everything that is showing the delete button, they were inside this list. And because they were inside this list, if you want to remove it, we'll target that list, we'll remove that list, that particular list. And when we created list, we named it where is that list? Yes, we named it task item. So what we just have to do is just put here task item dot remove, this function, remove function, and then that should work. I'm very sure. Let me type that should work, and add it. You can remove it. You can add multiple things. And you can see that I've added multiple things. You can mark some as done, and you can remove, and even remove this one. So with that, you have done a basic to-do list. If you are doing yours, take your time and do a very nice job. Design this very well. This is just for explanation. That's why I'm not really considering finding a reference to create a very outstanding UI. But with this, I'm sure that you know how to do a to-do list, and it will be very easy for you. So now the only problem with this to-do list is that on every refresh, we lose the content, and that's where we're going to be using local storage to save this, so that anytime we refresh, it's still going to be saved. But for me to do that video, you have to comment whether you need it. If not, I would think there's no need for that. But I would love you to do that in your to-do list, and also I would also love to see your to-do list, how it is, what you can come up with. Cannot do it, you can comment, and I'm going to do another video on that. And if there's any part of this tutorial you don't understand, you want me to focus on that part, you can also comment. And I also love to see, I will really love to see what you guys were able to come up with, what you're able to do. If possible, a different design, I would love to see that. Maybe I'll drop a social media handle that you can just show me what you have done so far. And with this, I'm sure you know how to create a basic to-do list, and with this knowledge you can even do more things, because we have learned so much in this JavaScript. You know how to use if and else statements here, and we know how to use a function, and that was just all we use here. Very simple and basic. Forget that it's long. It's looking like it's long. It's just this 228, and it's all because of this my space. I like to waste space when I'm working. I just want it to be very neat. All these spaces, normally let it do your very tight. You understand? Alright, so I'll see you in the next tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because we're going to be doing back-to-back projects from easy, intermediate to professional. We're going to be doing everything that we can do. We're doing crazy stuff, background remover, anything I can think of, we'll do it. Today is just the beginning, and I'm happy that you were part of this. I'll see you soon.